The moon hung heavy in the ink-black sky as I gripped the steering wheel, navigating the desolate stretch of road that wound through the heart of the forest. The only source of light was the feeble glow of my headlights, pushing back the darkness just enough to reveal the twisted silhouettes of gnarled trees and the occasional fleeting glimpse of an elusive nocturnal creature. I had heard the stories, the whispered warnings from locals about the dangers of driving through these woods after sunset. They spoke of eerie apparitions that would appear on the side of the road, of phantom figures that would dance just beyond the reach of the headlights. I had laughed off those tales as nothing more than the product of overactive imaginations, but as the minutes turned into hours, a creeping unease began to settle over me. The air inside the car grew colder, despite the heater working at full blast. Goosebumps prickled along my skin, and a chill ran down my spine. I glanced at the rearview mirror and caught a fleeting glimpse of something pale and indistinct in the back seat. My heart skipped a beat, and I quickly turned my attention back to the road, my grip on the steering wheel tightening even further. The road ahead seemed to stretch on endlessly, the trees forming an impenetrable wall on either side. My headlights flickered, casting strange shadows that seemed to writhe and twist in the darkness. Every rustling leaf and snapping twig set me on edge, my nerves fraying with each passing moment. I knew I should have turned back, found another route, but a stubborn determination held me in place. A soft whisper seemed to emanate from the very air itself, a voice just on the edge of hearing, taunting and seductive. I strained my ears, trying to make out the words, but they eluded me like a half-forgotten dream. Panic gnawed at the edges of my mind, and I fought to keep my focus on the road, praying for the sight of civilization to break through the trees. As I rounded a bend, my headlights illuminated a figure standing at the side of the road. My heart leapt into my throat, and I slammed on the brakes, the tires screeching against the pavement. The figure was tall and ethereal, its features obscured by shadows. It stood perfectly still, its gaze locked onto mine, and a shiver ran down my spine as I felt its eyes boring into me. Fear and curiosity warred within me, and against my better judgment, I rolled down the window just a fraction. The air outside was heavy with an otherworldly stillness, and the figure's voice drifted to me on a phantom breeze. "Lost soul," it whispered, the words echoing in my ears. Lost like the wind through the trees, searching for a way out. I swallowed hard, my voice barely more than a croak. Who are you?" The figure's lips curled into a twisted smile, and its eyes seemed to glow with an unnatural light. "A guide," it purred. "A guide to show you the way out of this labyrinth." A sense of dread settled over me, the realization sinking in that I had stumbled into something far more sinister than I could have imagined. I fumbled for the car keys, my fingers trembling as I turned the ignition. The engine roared to life, and I slammed my foot on the gas pedal, the tires spinning as the car surged forward. The figure remained rooted to the spot, its form fading into the shadows as I sped away. My heart pounded in my chest, and I dared not look back, my gaze fixed on the winding road ahead. The forest seemed to stretch on forever, each mile feeling like an eternity as I pushed the car to its limits. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the trees began to thin, and the first faint glimmers of dawn broke through the darkness. The road opened up onto a deserted highway, and I let out a shaky breath, relief flooding through me. I pulled over to the side of the road and leaned back against the seat, my pulse gradually slowing. As the sun rose higher in the sky, I glanced back in the direction of the forest, half expecting to see the figure standing there, watching me. But the woods remained still and silent, as if the night's horrors had never existed. I shivered at the memory, my mind replaying the chilling encounter over and over. I knew then that I had narrowly escaped a fate far worse than I could have ever imagined. The road had taken me to the very brink of darkness, but somehow, against all odds, I had found my way back to the light. And as I drove away from that desolate stretch of road, I couldn't help but wonder how many others had fallen victim to the same malevolent forces that lurked in the shadows, waiting for unsuspecting souls to stray into their grasp.